that's when me and him like clashed, because she asked me on the air, how do you feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I said what I felt. They're my homeboys, I love them. Tupac took it as if I wasn't down with him no more, as if I was side busted, as if I was scared. Death Row looked at me as like a traitor. The next day, I actually had to fly back home from New York. And normally on a private plane, it'd be Pac, his security, me, my security, Suge, and a couple of his homies. This time I go to the airport, my security walking with me. Suge like, hold up, they can't roll. They gotta catch a regular flight. So now I'm like,
that's not a good sign.
Okay. First of all, Pac ain't said to me though, from that moment on.
But everybody else has security.
Yeah. I seen it happen. I know how to get down.
I was just gonna say,
I
that's
know,
what my mind was wondering.
I know how to get down.
Yeah.
I'm not a stranger to danger. I know what it is. So now I get on the plane. So now I'm looking around. Pac right here, a couple other right here. I'm like, what's up, Pac? And they do me like this. So I walk to the back of the plane, give me a blanket, grab me a knife and a fork, put the blanket over my nose right here, my little black glasses on, and ride like this the whole flight, hoping one of them come with me so I could stab out everybody on this mother. This is a 5.5-hour flight. Don't nobody say one word to me. Not one word. Just having conversations and doing all kinds of things, saying nothing to me. We step off the plane. I'm like, Pop, you going to Vegas to the fight? I said, pfft. That's the last time I seen my live.
Everybody knew everybody was going to be there. And the people that wasn't there because they knew everybody was going to be there. And we know everybody who wasn't there.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab, I'm in the building. And this is MAKAVELI Media. All right, so check this out. Mike Tyson did an interview on IG Live with Fat Joe. And he talked about the fact that in his heart, he believed that Tupac may have been set up by certain individuals that night in Las Vegas. And automatically, everybody's mind jumped to Puffy because Mike Tyson said the fight with Orlando, made what happened to Tupac that night possible by the people basically that wasn't there that night at the fight. He said the people that wasn't there, and we all know who that was. And like I said, the logical conclusion is that Puffy and Biggie wasn't there in Vegas that night, right? Puffy had some kind of proof that Biggie was in the studio or what have you, because the Chuck Phillips, LA Times initial report was that, Biggie paid the South to do that to Tupac. Well, check this out. It got me to thinking, it was a lot of people that wasn't there that night. A whole lot of people that wasn't there. But one of the people that should have been there, it never made sense to me why they were absent. And that person is Snoop Dogg. We all assumed, like I said, that Mike Tyson may have been talking about P. Diddy. But some of my brilliant subscribers in the comment section say, who's to say he wasn't talking about Snoop? Now, let me put the disclaimer out there. This is all speculation. I'm not insinuating that Snoop Dogg was part of the setup of Tupac Shakur. Not at all. I'm simply asking you, because some of y'all may know the answer to this, because I never heard a definitive answer why. Why was it? I've heard so many different excuses, but do you guys have any concrete evidence why Snoop Dogg wasn't in Vegas. I done heard everything from Snoop had a sore ankle, he pulled his hamstring. No, I'm joking. Well, no, think about it for a minute. I mean, Snoop changed his story up several times while he wasn't in Vegas. You know, he even, it's been different accounts to where he was. He was at the studio, he was at his house, he was at one of the Dog Pound members' house, all types of stuff. But why wasn't he in Vegas? Especially for a guy that was so, adamant about asking Tupac, was he going to Vegas? You're asking him, is he going to Vegas, and you wasn't going yourself? That's kind of odd. I must admit, that's very strange. And from my understanding is that there was a mandatory trip. All Death Row artists was required to come to it. It was speculation that Pac didn't want to go. But this was an important time in Death Row's, existence for their presence to be in Vegas. For whatever reason, I guess it was a big promotional night. A lot of stars is out in Vegas for a Tyson fight. It's the biggest calendar event in Vegas. And, everybody in the who's who of the music industry was going to be in attendance. Death Row wanted their presence to be felt. They had, some major announcements they was doing at 662 that night. And, all hands on deck. So if it was mandatory for all of Death Row artists and staff to be in Vegas, once again, why wasn't Snoop Dogg there? Snoop said several times, if I would have went to Vegas, I would have been sitting in that car with Suge and Tupac. And he probably would have.
I put down more hits than mafioso Mick. And Lucky Luciano about the same soprano.